It's Week 8 of the 2025 season, and we're in for a show from Anthony Richardson. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Colts and the Texans, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They have certainly got it rolling of late, winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. They'll run it for the first time with Dameon Pierce. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Stroud. That is caught. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Stroud looking to throw. Got a man. It's the rookie out of the 3rd round. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down. And Stroud now to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So the Colts in great position here as they get things started. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an
And
interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. Here's the former NFL rushing champ. It's Jonathan Taylor. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. The Colts at 6-1 now through 7 weeks of the season. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, you know, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Let's go.
Now Richardson back to throw it. Throw out right, pulled in by Downs. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down. And this one is right through. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Pierce now up the middle. And the big boys up front. They're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Play action. Here's Stroud. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's been a real threat, not just with the arm, but with the wheels as well. NFL's leader amongst quarterbacks in terms of rushing touchdowns. Here's Richardson to throw. He's got his man. It's Pierce. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Richardson looking to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Well, this defense for the Texans very strong in that victory a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Hey, look at the defense for these Texans. This unit 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
On 4th down, the Colts will call on Rigoberto Sanchez for the punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body, get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Stroud off the play fake. He'll let this go deep for Collins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And it'll be fourth down. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Colts to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Richardson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on fourth down to punt this thing. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And now out comes Houston.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2. Now 2nd and 9. As they've got it as we resume action. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The Texans on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Stroud sets up the play action.
And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Colts offense and Anthony Richardson ready for this next possession. And he continues to show off his ability to run the football when the opportunity is right. He is the NFL leader in rushing yards from the QB position. From the shotgun, Richardson. That complete to Downs.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Richardson looking to throw this. That's complete to Pierce.
Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
From a couple of yards beyond midfield, here's 2nd and 8. Now Richardson. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 37. Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that will bring up second down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to make it fourth down. Now it's Richardson. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on fourth down to bring up first and goal.
I didn't like the play call. I loved it. Running situation for sure on fourth and short. They got the defense to commit too many men in the box to stop the run and have the guts to go for the pass instead. And as a result, they're set up first and goal.
And they'll try the option on first and goal. A little juke.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line.
He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be second and a couple. Taylor trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a fourth down. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
Houston set to take over. They are still in search of their first points of the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. Stroud. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Pierce takes it straight ahead.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Here's Tommy Townsend now
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And they will take over first and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. Now this taken in by Downs.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
They give to Taylor out of the gun.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right.
And this is going to be a Colts 1st down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's go now. Let's go.
Richardson working from the gun.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down. Back to throw. Richardson.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A good 1st down call as the screen play gets him 9.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Looking to throw. Richardson.
Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Back to throw. Richardson.
He'll get that one to Taylor, complete. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. And Richardson looks to throw once more. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Back to throw again. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. This one from 48 yards away. And his kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead.
So that, Charles, a season long, and since he's a rookie, I guess we can go ahead and call that a career long as well.
I love how you put that together because, you know, as everyone at home was saying, okay, has to be career, right, since he's a rookie. Well done by you, but I definitely like what I've seen from him so far this year. Very distinguished college career. He's looking right at home here in the NFL.
And the Texans going to get the football one final time here in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He's got this complete to Stover, the tight end.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
He's across midfield.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Here's Stroud.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jordan. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here goes Stroud again.
And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
These two teams, they met in Houston earlier in the season with the Texans coming out on top. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3.
Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Again, it's Taylor.
Able to put, and a nice stiff arm. It opens room to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
44 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Oh, the option to give to Taylor here.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And he stopped immediately there.
And Will Anderson gets to him for the tackle. 2nd and 10. Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Richardson out of the shotgun. He'll get this one to Pittman.
And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be 4th down. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Stroud looking to throw.
This one complete to Christian Kirk.
Into space at the 45.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, Our defense has kept us in the ball game. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Mixing up the middle.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
Certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to, when you want to.
And it'll be intercepted.
And the Colts are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground. Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Fielded at the 33. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Throwing now is Stroud.
His throw incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return.
Well, the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
From the gun, it's Taylor.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2nd down and 4. Here's Richardson to throw. This will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. Richardson.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle.
The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another 1st down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
Richardson looking to throw. And he's got Pierce. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
They attempted to fade to the back corner of the end zone unsuccessfully. And I've been with you long enough, Brandon. I know that's not one of your favorite calls.
Well, it's interesting. Before working with you, I always viewed that as you're just taking away space and you're trapping yourself in a corner. But you actually have told me they're trying to create space where space is not.
Yeah, it's really a weird deal, isn't it? But you've got to just move that defender inside to create that separation and that little bit of space where there just isn't much.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Now Stroud. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 40. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Stroud will look to throw once more. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Mixon will try the right side. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and the deficit will hold at 15.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. A short throw pulled in by Woods. First target, first catch, and a first down. Now Richardson, he's going to keep it running right. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. From the 29, here's 2nd and 3. Now Richardson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Richardson to throw off play action. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. If you want a lesson on how to defeat an offensive tackle, that was pretty textbook.
Is that a clip and save?
Yes.
That's what's going to go around the league, and people are going to watch that and say, my goodness, that's how you do it? And I feel awful for the offensive tackle because we always talk about the athleticism of that guy who just beat him. Well, you have to be athletic to try and block that guy. Just in this case, the defense won.
Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter. And Stroud now to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Jordan. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Stroud. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Again, it's Stroud. This is caught. It's Kirk. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. He's got Jordan complete right side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Here we go.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Give to Pierce. And able to work his way down to the 16. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Mixon running wide side. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. That is caught, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it makes the score 21-10. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And they'll begin by running the option. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. Richardson working from the gun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the shotgun, Richardson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now it's Richardson. Connecting over the middle with Downs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They run once more with Taylor. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
On the handoff, Taylor.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Richardson looking to throw this.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. This just a 24-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. So Stroud and the Texans
down by 2 touchdowns. A little over 1.5 minutes remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance.
Stroud to throw it. He'll get this complete to Collins.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50.
Here's Stroud. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. 2nd and 6 coming up. Stroud to the sideline and incomplete.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
One final shot for C.J. Stroud.
And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for Indianapolis,
the victory moves them to 7-1 on the year.
And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again.
Meanwhile, for Houston, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.